to the back of Baskerville were coming in. I don't know what that was. And then I got into it. I mean, I did the show a few weeks ago, and I discovered I was him and he was me. He was dressed in a conservative black suit with a tie, and I came on all jazz, figuring I wanted to belong. You know? So I did his number and he did mine. Well, good afternoon. And thank you for coming. Our pleasure. She said our pleasure. I was looking down at my jacket. You know, the opening remarks. What do you say What's in that glass? Water.
Water.
I see.
I love you so much.
This is certainly a different afternoon, isn't it? What's your name?
My name is Nova La Rosa.
Nova La Rosa. La Rosa.
La Rosa.
Why do you put the emphasis on the last syllable?
He says like Larissa, like Lodona, and
La Rosa.
That's right.
La Rosa.
We are so glad.
You talk about glamour. Look at this outfit. What are you doing here?
What am I doing? I came to
It is a different afternoon. Well, I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, Bill Lawrence. What I was going to say was, I was looking down at my jacket, and no, now we're losing control. Now chaos is setting in now. Now you got to sit down. Now you got to sit down. And it works. So I was looking down at my jacket, and I see it buttons to the left. I mean, it goes to the left. That's how women's clothes work, right? Men's clothes work to the other side. And I remember that this jacket and another jacket that I had was made by a woman designer in another part of the country, a leather jacket. And I remember that I wore the other jacket on Saturday Night Live, which you may have seen. And the thing was, Saturday Night Live is crazy. I mean, they're mad. They don't have a script Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They don't know what's happening until about Friday. Then they know what they're not going to do. No, we're not going to do, a funny skit about eggs. No, we're not. We're going to do something else. By Saturday, they have a vague idea, and it's written down on cue cards. Meanwhile, the actors are kind of wandering around, especially me, who was wondering what was happening. Well, on top of the fact that didn't know what was going to happen, you had to make quick changes for whatever was going to happen. So I had a quick change to make between the opening and my opening remarks. I had to get out of this jacket.
Give me the camera and I'll go up.
And we hadn't rehearsed getting out of the jacket because we hadn't rehearsed what the sketch was or what anything else was. So we're now on the air. And the guy is counting down 10 seconds. 8, 9, 7. I'm going to go on 1. And there's 3 people trying to get this jacket off. All 3 of them are men. And they're trying to rip this jacket off the way they think it should go. But of course it was going the other way. It was all, and 2, and I got this jacket still on, and I don't dare rip it off because I have to use it later on. It was murder. That's it. That's the story. What happened? I went on. I said, "Hello, get away!" And they never let me live it down. Okay. Now, the way this works is, I'll here and make a fool of myself, you guys laugh and cry. And what I'll do is I'll answer questions in a rather obtuse and verbose way, which means I'll run on and answer your question. So just bring up. You're ready. Stand up. What's your name? What motivates your name? That's a... Sheriff. Why did I do T.J. Hooker? Besides the money. What are you, crazy? I've got children, I've got rent. I gotta buy a jacket now and then. What do you mean besides the money? Well, I mean, I thought it was supposed to be a good series. Where you been, Jerry? It was a good series. No, I mean, a television series starts off frequently with the best of intentions. For example, T.J. Hooker was presented to me as a conservative cop who believes in money. Why are you laughing? When the funny stuff starts, then you laugh. Conservative cop caught in the liberal ways. And he has to fight his nature and be liberal about being conservative. Okay, that sounds like an interesting idea. He's fighting, reading people their rights and stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like an interesting idea. What happens is everybody gets tired right away. Second show, you're tired. The writers are tired, the producers are tired, and all you want to do is tell your story and get home. So this is a whole rationale to tell you that I didn't do it for the money, and you insist I did. Wait a minute, that's like a chaos. Yes, there was an aspect to doing it for the money, of course. But I had hoped that it would have this other level. But it wasn't that. I had to run. I had to be on top of rooftops a lot. In the middle of the summer in the smog at 110 degrees. And the rooftops in Los Angeles, and I presume in San Francisco, are painted white to reflect the light. That raises the heat about 10 degrees. So I'm here to tell you it's about 120 degrees on the rooftops of Los Angeles. I'm an authority on the rooftops of Los Angeles. Next question. Yes. Now you're going to bring up a book. Ooh. For all of us here, and those of us who are not, the best Star Trek movie will be in the theaters. You'll be in the Paramount mailboxes. Small place, but you can get in there. The list of, what is this a list of? A petition to Paramount that you want Star Trek 6. Oh, yeah. Ooh, what a passionate group. In the uniform, or it's a black power salute. One or the other.
What does LTTE stand for?
Ah. Last chance. And various other manifestations of LC. We did actually, the whole intent was to make it look as much like LA as possible. We had to change the initials. We never got that. But we took these obscene words and put them together for LC. Last chance is as clean as I get. Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of ladies here. Who do you think I am? A flesh pot? Who's going to win this selling tonight? That's it. That's the last beat kick I did. You are crazy. What is happening to this group? This is supposed to be Star Trek. It's turning out to be a Rob Long movie. I don't know. I'm sorry. Hang on. Chaos. We mustn't have chaos. What? Last chaos for Elsie. What? Did I ever unwrap the presents that I had? You mean those cups? The Stein, I mean? The Frankenstein. Oh, quick joke. She didn't laugh, she laughed before. I did. The Admiral thing. Was that from you? Thank you very much. Yes? A few years ago, you wrote me a letter. I remember that letter. Was that the one that started off, Dear Bill? I remember that letter. I was Mr. Bill. There's a guy in a red shirt with his hand up. You're dancing on me again. Thank you very much. It is Indian. I was thinking of another religion, but that's fabulous. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I promise you I'll wear it. In the red. I'm not on the spot. This is nothing here. 1,000 people are looking at me, and you don't want to put me on the spot. What is my opinion of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
You haven't seen it.
Be honest. Well, I have a very defined and definite opinion, but let me ask you first, those of you who like it, raise your hands. I like it too. Next question. Little guy in the red. Okay, you first, little guy in the red next. Why? I don't mind you asking me a question, and you're going to ask me a question, but when I said little guy in the red, and you're all in white, why did you stand up? Oh, I forgot I'm in white! Yeah! It's your face that's red. Stand up. Well, I asked one of the writers of Star Trek 5, and some interesting, what's he going to say? Interesting views about God. What are my feelings about God? But you don't want to put me on the spot. Interesting, right? Is that your question? Then sit down. I tell you, I had a rare opportunity in Star Trek 5. Almost, not unique, but so rare that it's given to very few people in anybody's lifetime. I mean, in the history of, say, movie making, to be able to take an idea and bring it to fruition. I took an idea of mine that in the middle of the night someplace occurred to me as that would be a good story. And I asked, let me tell you a bit about that. And I asked, at the closing party of Star Trek 4, I said to a vice president of Paramount, I said, you know, we shouldn't wait a long time like we did getting 4 out to get 5 out.
Good over there because they can kill you.
Once is funny. Twice, there's a ring of truth to it. 3 times and I'm out. Okay, so I said to this guy, we should do Star Trek 5, which I'd already been contracted to direct. Do it right away. He said, good idea. I said this to, actually I said that to the head of the studio, Frank Mancuso, whose name you should know, and at Paramount Studios on Melrose Avenue. If you want to write him a letter, I mean, that's up to you, I don't care. So Frank Mancuso, I said, Frank, we shouldn't wait. He said, well, you're right. So about an hour later, a vice president came up to me and said, I understand you have an idea for Star Trek 5. I said, I do. He says, come and see me in my office tomorrow. So, next day, I go to his office, vice president walked up the stairs. Hello, vice president. Hello, Bill. He called me Bill, he didn't call me Mr. Bill. And I said, Vice President, here's my idea. He said, good idea. He said, who do you want to write it? I said, I've been reading a an author, a best-selling author lately, and I think he'd be perfect to write the story of Star Trek V. Eric von Lustbader, who wrote The Ninja and things like that. Okay, so he wrote it. Eric von Lustbader writes about the Orient, and this guy, in the last 4 or 5 books of his, has been a central character who has been born in America but has been brought up in the East, in Japan, and he's torn between 2 cultures, and it reminded me of Spock. So I thought, this guy understands mystery and torn, emotional, and I thought, great guy to write the story. So I suggested, and then I said to the vice president, not only that, he's a best-selling author. He said, that sounds like a wonderful idea. Go get him. So the next day, I called. I was working very quickly because I wanted to get this picture out right away. So the next day, I called Eric von Lustbader. Never heard of him. I mean, I'd never seen him, never met him. All I knew was his name in a book. But I knew he lived in New York, and I called information in New York, and I got his phone number, and I called him, and he answered the phone, and I said, this is William Shatner. He said, I'm a Trekkie! I said, get away! No, I didn't say that. So, ooh, yes, I agree. Okay. Did it for the money? Okay. So I say, I want to see you. He says, come on down. So I fly to New York. And I sit and have dinner with him in some little restaurant in New York. And we spent 4 hours eating. Then we talked. No, we spent 4 hours talking. Then we ate. Then he was excited by the idea of, and now I can say it because it was a movie, I said, Star Trek goes in search of God. He said, I love it, I want to write that story. And then I painted some other ideas that I had. He said, I want to do that story. So I flew back to Los Angeles. Next day, I go to the vice president. Vice president, I have Eric von Lustbader who wants to do the story. He said, that's wonderful. We will begin negotiations immediately. 6 months later, nothing's happened. And I keep trying to get Eric von Lustbader on the phone. He calls, I don't know what they're doing. Then I get Paramount on the phone. I don't know what he's doing. And they could never get together. I don't understand why they couldn't get together. Somebody was asking for too much, or somebody was getting too little. It never worked out. So one night, after that incident, I sat down and I wrote out the story. Wrote 14 pages of the story. And I presented it, and they liked it very much, but they said it needs a little bit of work. And all this time, I was trying to convince Harv Bennett to become part of the whole package, because he had done it so often and done it so much, and he was such a good, marvelous talent. I knew I needed him. I felt I needed him with me to do Star Trek V, and I finally convinced him to do it. And then we hired a writer named David Lowery. He and David Lowery and I sat down, refashed the story. David Lowery would write the scenes, he'd bring them in, we'd criticize them, we'd rewrite them, and between the 3 of us, but especially David Lowery, wrote the screenplay. And that was the way it went. Now, what that meant was, I had a story that was all mine, that I helped fashion, and everything I wanted to say was in that screenplay. And ultimately, with all the fights and changes that we had to make for various and sundry reasons, the final thrust of what I had to say remains in the script. So if you ask me what my view about God is, that's it in the script. That was perfect timing. Have you ever done any stage work or anything like that? He waited for the applause to die down and began the speech. It was great. What's your name? Andrew? Daniel. Nice and loudly, Daniel, so I can hear you. Your mother? Your mother was trying to get you to go up there. What are you looking at? Come on up here. Come over. Great, Daniel. A pleasure to shake your hand. Okay. Please on. Does anybody know who's going to direct Star Trek 6? No, nobody knows that there's going to be a Star Trek 6, so nobody knows. Right behind you. Any more game shows? I haven't done game shows in a long time. My funniest recollection of the game show was that pyramid show. That $20,000 pyramid, $25,000 pyramid. Before I went on one day, the producer said to me, "We need an opening. Go on and play the $25,000 pyramid by yourself." And he said, "Ask yourself the questions and respond to them. And do it until we get cut." So only a fool will take that burden on. So I ran out in front of an audience, made another fool of myself. I got so into the game, like I was accusing myself. Now what's the answer to? What's the answer to? And I said, the answer. And he said, oh, the whole idea was that if I could finish within a minute, he'd give $1,000 to charity. I got so caught up in the game, I couldn't remember what it was I had asked myself, and I just was just trying. Did you ever see that thing? It was the funniest. I mean, everybody just died, and I did too. He finally gave $1,000 to charity. Yes? At the Grand National Cow Palace. You were dark-haired then, and you had kind of a gorgeous skin. I remember you. Who? Jay, yes. Took second place against the world champion. Great for you, but I was second place. That's nothing, you know. Second place is nothing. You have to win. Nobody believed you? I can verify the fact that I was second place to the world champion. At the Cow Palace. Imagine riding in the Cow Palace. What's your question? Let me be nervous. You can be calm. Nobody cares if you're funny or not, or if you make a decent answer. Nobody cares. They're looking at me. I'm the one that's nervous. You can be calm. I'm not nervous. Oh, this was beautiful. I'm going to do it again. You're darn right. I keep after that world champion until I get him. You want to add something? He's rubbing it in. You look like you're rubbing it into his back. Okay. Can you take a picture with me? Not right now. No, maybe. Yes. When I was in Yosemite. Did I go through what? Fresno. No. Why would I go from Fresno to get to Yosemite? Yes, I did. Of course I did. I landed in Fresno. That's where you live. Oh, of course. You had that red tile roof. Yes, it was how did I enjoy being kissed by the whale? Reminded me of some girls I know. I had the most marvelous experience. I had the opportunity to go to Marine World, Africa, USA. Just north of it. Great place. Don't miss it if you haven't been. And I was filming up there. I did two things up there. I did something for the Endangered Species Act, which to bring some publicity, and I shot a series called Voice of the Planet up there, some moments of Voice of the Planet up there. And I did a few things with the animals. There was a cheetah up there, and they took the cheetah behind a hill. There was a rise, and they took the cheetah up there and placed the camera behind me. We couldn't rehearse it, obviously, because this was a wild animal. And the trainer stood behind the camera. Another trainer took the animal away over the hill. And then the camera started to grind, and the trainer called for the cheetah by a whistle here. The cheetah appeared over the hill and started bounding towards me, for all the world looking like it was coming at me, and came at me. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew if I had this crazy idea that I can't get hurt. That's a great. It's led me into all sorts of dangerous adventures. Anyway, this cheetah's coming at me, and I'm looking at the cheetah, and it's coming closer and closer, and finally it's going to run past me. I grab a hold of the cheetah. And the cheetah looks at me, and I look at the cheetah. The camera's right here. Now suddenly the cheetah looks off some horses that are being worked over there. He's sitting down. He looks off. I look off. The cheetah and I are looking off. Profile to profile. The camera's right there. And finally the cheetah looked at me. I looked at the cheetah. The cheetah licked my face. Wanted us in. I mean, the cheetah and I were at one with each other. Then I went into the pool with the orcas. And I got on top of the orca and it swam around. That was one thing. But then I got into the pool and the orca leaped over me like that. I have pictures in my office to that effect. And then the most magical thing of all. I put my arms, I sat on the edge of the pond. I put my arms out like this. And the orca came up into the circle of my arms. I put my feet on top of his fins. I leaned back, and the orca danced with me around the pool. Whatever happened to my youngest, Janice Rand? Well, I don't really know, except that years later, what was her name? What? Grace Whitney. Okay. Grace Lee Whitney. Okay. Grace Lee Whitney. I don't know. She left after the first 13, and she was gone, and life went on. She's a lovely lady, and I liked her very much. But years went by. 15 years go by. And Grace Lee Whitney was no more in my consciousness then as she would have been a second before you asked your question. I'm coming out of a theater in Los Angeles on Hollywood Boulevard on Saturday night. 11 o'clock, Saturday night, very dangerous place to be. You don't want to be on Hollywood Boulevard at 11 o'clock. It's like being under a rock. Yeah. I was like climbing a rock. No, I was trying to think of someplace in San Francisco where it could be quite dangerous. 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Okay? You don't want to be there at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. So we're coming out of the theater, and into a parking lot by the theater, and we're kind of getting into our car, and I see a station wagon pull up, and this tall, athletic blonde gets out, sits on the tailgate of her station wagon, and starts putting on roller skates. I'm wondering, oh my God, that's Grace Lee Whitney. Grace! Oh, hi, girl, how are you? Grace, what are you doing? I'm going roller skating. You're going roller skating, Grace? Where? Oh, up and down Hollywood Boulevard. I didn't believe her, so we stayed in the car, and we watched her. You know, I mean, ladies of the night are standing on every corner, and there's groups of guys standing on every corner, and, I mean, people are being thrown out of places as, you know, the door crashes open, out comes two people fighting, and Grace Lee Whitney, with her hair tied in that long thing that she does, dressed in skin-tight things, and she's roller skating up and down Hollywood Boulevard. That was the last time I saw her. Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Yes. You were wondering if you could bring this up to me. Really? I would be honored. Why don't you come up here? What's your name? I can be your captain anytime? Anytime. I'll have to ask the captain. All right. Thank you very much. That's great. I love those guys. Yes, you in the red with the glasses. You were on the Star Trek cruise. Uh-huh. 1990 cruise. You know, you're wondering if I would go along, is that it? What? Grace Lee Whitney was there? I'm glad they got her out of that place. They must have committed her for some time, I'm sure. I feel a say. I mean, I feel like I'm part. I feel like, you know how they run rabbits for greyhounds? You know, phony rabbits, you know, they run them along and the greyhounds will chase. I feel like I'm the phony rabbit, and everybody's running after me. I mean, and on a cruise ship, you can only go around and around. Right? Jump overboard, you know, and that's it. Detroit. Hi. You don't usually do this? Would it make any difference if I said neither do I? Okay. You what? For a hobby, you keep a list of movies on various people. You have 42 of my movies listed. Wow. What? And out of 42, you've seen 37. No, that's Leonard. March 26th is Leonard. 22nd. March 22nd. Oh, you got that. That wasn't part of your list. Is that your question? Basically. Actually, you were wondering, what color are my eyes? Pink. They change color. Hazel, blue, brown, somewhere on it, depending on the light and what I'm wearing. Right.
I was wondering, in the TV episode of Star Trek, you worked with Joan Collins.
Joan Collins, yes. Yeah. That's rock climbing there, well, I'll tell you. Yes. Oh. I don't think so. And what's your question?
What was it like?
What was it like? Well, you remember what I was describing, hanging on by the fingertips and the toenails? The rock climbing? Joan Collins is very, very beautiful, very exciting lady, and she went on, of course, we were the first step in her marvelous success, and she was wonderful, and I love that particular segment as well, so it was great. Listen to that. Okay. First step. For somebody who's serious about getting into the business. Yes. World famous personality. What does the first step does a person take to get into the business? All right, let me describe what my daughter does. Okay, she is connected in some vague way with somebody. Okay, all I can do for her is to say, I know George. Why don't you tell him your name? I can't do it anymore because so much money is at stake when they make a film or a play, for that matter, that nobody is going to take a chance because it's a favorite. You have to be physically right and artistically ready. Physically right you can't do anything about. That's the director or the producer's opinion. But artistically ready, my daughter goes to classes 5 times a week. She's studying for 2 years right now, after you did theater for 10 years. Well, then you're artistically ready, and you're a good type, physically. Now you have to be there, and you have to be lucky. And that's how you get into business. Keep pounding. I beg your pardon? Tell you about Oedipus. What did Oedipus do for me? What did I do for Oedipus? Oedipus Rex. We made a film. I was in Oedipus at Stratford, and we made a movie of that film, and it went its artistic way. I don't know what's happened to it, but not very much. But it was a great deal of great performing under the aegis of Stratford. Yes, in the what? Getting a little philosophical.
If heaven forbid, your career was going today, what would be your favorite role that you have played in all of them? What would be the one you like and will have fond memories of in your past career?
Yeah. I feel so sad that it's all over. What would I look back on? What would I look back on as the thing I was most proud of that I like? Without question, Star Trek V was my favorite thing. I enjoyed making Star Trek V so much. It was the finest experience of my life. All the skills that I had learned over a lifetime
acting, directing, and writing came to the fore, and I was just happy about it. Yes, you in the strange, yes, yes. In the blooper reel, where I fell down the stairs. I fell down the stairs. What's your question? Did I really fall down the stairs? Yes. I have various things broken on me from things that do my own stunts. When I used to do my own stunts until about last year. I'm not going to do my own stunts. Yes, I fell downstairs, I jumped over buildings, I rode on trains. I don't know why. It's stupid for an actor to do his own stunts. There's absolutely no necessity, unless the camera's right on you. And then people can see that it's you, and it makes a difference. But otherwise, if you're far enough back, and there's somebody that looks vaguely like you, the audience will accept it. But I have done a lot of my own stunts, and been very scared about it. Yes, right. Saturday Night Live earlier, yes. John Belushi did a caricature of me. And when I first saw that, what did I think? Boy, look what's happened to him. I mean, come on. I didn't recognize the guy at all. I mean, I don't know who he was doing, or what he was doing. But everybody laughed and pointed the finger at me. What are you looking at me for? What's that? Apparently, I have certain characteristics. I don't know. And there was John making an utter fool of himself. Doing it. I thought it was very funny. I just laughed. I laughed out loud. Yes, young man. Yes. Out of all the Star Trek suits I've worn, which one do I like?
What'd you keep?
That's really funny. I don't know. I'll tell you, on this movie, I wanted to have different wardrobe. I said to the guy, Neil Rotos, I said, I want the wardrobe to look different. I don't like all that kind of stuff. They should be men at war, masculine men. So they made one uniform that had they didn't have time. We were so rushed. They didn't have time to disguise the zipper in the back. And the shoulder pads were up here, remember, they walked around like this a lot. I didn't care for that one. But there was a jacket on this one, that maroon jacket I really liked with those pants. I think maybe that was my favorite. You agree? Yes, my red hair.
At the last event you went to, Jonathan Frakes said he wanted your little black book. I was wondering if you had it.
Well, what was the last part?
I was wondering if I could get my number in the book because I
Some guy said, could he have my little black book? And I kept insisting that the only little black book I have is a checkbook, and I think that's what he meant. And you want your name in my checkbook? I don't have a black book. I committed to memory. And go ahead. Go climb a rock, that's fine. There's a blooper reel on here. I think that's disgusting for you people to watch that. The Janice Rand did it. Can you imagine? People have asked me, how did I know that Star Trek became popular after the first run, and then several years went by before it became popular in reruns? And I've been asked, how did I know? When did I know that it had become popular? I was skiing one day, or one season. I've forgotten where. It was somewhere in Colorado, I think. I was skiing. It was blizzard. Clouds had hung low. Wind had whipped up the snow around my ankles. I was looking down the hill. I was all alone. It was dark. The sun was setting. just crossed my hands were cold. I didn't know how I was. You got it. That's it. I looked up behind me. A strange figure had skied down. Kicked snow in my face and stopped me. He said, "You're Shatner, aren't you?" I looked at my mask. I said, "Yes." He said, "Have you seen the Wolverine?" I said, "What?" This is like 7 years later. "The Wolverine? Have you seen the Wolverine?" "Then what are you talking about? The snow is kicking itself in my face and the fog is coming in and we're going to get down. What are you talking about a Wolverine?" He said, "It's playing all over town. The Wolverine. Have you seen it?" And it was at that point I knew that Star Trek was becoming famous again. It was the darndest thing. We made those funny films. I mean, editors put outtakes together for our Christmas party. Between the first and second seasons, and between the second and third seasons. It was for our entertainment. Sometimes we gagged it up, you know, and sometimes they were things that happened on the set. And who knew that 20 years later, that this fool, it was the darndest thing that you ever saw. So they put it together, and now they've sold them. And people see them all the time. You saw them again. I'd like to see them. I haven't seen them in years. Yes. Stand up. Turn around. That's good to me. You've been reading a book about making Star Trek 5. What do you do to alleviate all the stress?
Why to get you to turn around?
Deep breaths. Meditate. Very calm. Very peaceful. Very calm. Yeah. In the white, the glasses.
I saw you in
In the Twilight Zone. The guy in the wing, yes. I didn't see it, but I understand it was very good. That was a big movie. Ours was, you know, a 5-day shooting schedule television show. So I don't know. I have no opinion on how it worked or how it didn't work. I just know that for some reason, that show and another one that I did seems to have touched a nerve with people, and they remember it to some degree or another. I don't know what it is. Well, assuming there's another film, and assuming that I have something to do with it, I would love to do a romantic comedy. I think I know how to. Scotty and Uhura. That's funny. Hey, wait a minute, it's 10 after 5. Hold on a second. We got some money from the sale, from the auction of cocoa that we're giving to the Cocoa Foundation, right? And World Wildlife Foundation. And we all of you, how much? We have, through the auction, garnered about $1,000 for the World Wildlife Foundation and cocoa. Isn't that magnificent? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a time limit on this room and all that. Thank you very much for coming. What a pleasure it was to appear before you.